I'm back again, guys. It's been a long time. I just had to reconfigure my brain to get back in the mood to do these things. But I'm back again, and I said it back like 8 million times. This is ChetChat. I'm Chet, and we saw Valerian City of a Thousand Planets. Yeah. So Valerian City of a Thousand Planets is actually a movie based off of a very old comic book that I did not read and I didn't know about until this movie came out, pretty much. And the main marketing tool that they used to show what this movie is about is that it was directed by Luke Besson, I think his name is, the guy who directed Fifth Element and a whole bunch of other pretty good movies and a whole bunch of other pretty bad movies. But yeah, the main movies that he's really known for is The Professional and Fifth Element. And honestly, you straight up see Fifth Element in this movie. It's very Fifth Element-like. There's a lot of cool science fiction stuff, and that's the main reason I wanted to see this movie, because there's not a lot of science fiction around to watch these days. Even though this year has been a really big wave of science fiction, a lot of it's not good, some of it's pretty good, but I'm always open to see more science fiction. So what is this movie about? So this movie is about these two characters that are working for the military, and they're pretty much these like special ops or like almost spy level, where they're just awesome characters and they get, you know, signed on to these different missions because they're hard to do missions and they can do them. So the army asks them to find this like piece of technology and bring it back to them, and they find out that there's this problem in the city of a thousand planets. But that's just the main plot. It's a very simple plot with a little romance in it, but the main thing that you want to see is the science fiction aspect. Just from the beginning of the movie, the way how it sets up the movie was really interesting. They show you how the city of a thousand planets was actually born. It was actually born on Earth, in space, in a sense, in orbit of Earth. And the way how they do the time lapse is really cool and interesting. You get to see the science fiction elements of it, and then it moves to a different planet and it shows you their culture and stuff, and you see like the story playing out and this weird stuff happening, and a lot of time passes. There's a lot of time, and that's the really cool parts of the movie. The beginning of the movie is really good when they just show you how like the characters operate, and they show you the chemistry between the characters. Although I really think Dane DeHaan was a really bad choice for this movie. He's a good actor, but I really didn't like him at all in this movie. Even though his character is like, you know, is a dick, but I feel like there could have been a better person for him. I'm not too sure who would have been a better person for him, but I don't know, it didn't work. I felt like he doesn't fit that character archetype. And Kara is just there. She's cool, but she doesn't really do anything ultimately for the role. Like, it could have been anybody. But yeah, so you have these characters interacting, but the main thing is just the setting and how cool everything looks. And for the most part, it does a really good job of getting you interested, especially if you're a science fiction buff like me who loves science fiction. If you're not really into science fiction, this movie will definitely put you off because it delves way too deep into science fiction sometimes. And there's a part where they just ramble on some science fiction stuff because they want to tell you about the city of a thousand planets. It is completely unnecessary to the plot. There's like a little tidbit of it, and you really don't need to know that information, but they give you that information anyway. So you don't really need it in the movie. And that's like an overall theme about this movie. The movie does a really good job in the beginning. It gets you in the mood to like the science fiction fun, and the action is really good, and then it just draws on for way too long. Like, I was looking at my watch an hour and a half in, I was like, when is this movie gonna end? What's going on? There's literally 40 minutes of movie that did not need to happen, and it just ruined the whole experience for me. And then you get into the ending portion of the movie, which is very weak plot wise, and then you, on top of it, you have this really annoying romance plot that is just so forced. It feels so forced. And if they just made it buddy cops, I know you're trying to stick to the source material. I'm pretty sure the source material has the character falling in love with the girl or something, and well, I think even the source material is Valerian and the girl's name is not Valerian in the city of a thousand planets. But I felt like this could have been a really good buddy cop movie, pretty much. In essence, I feel like if they went the buddy cop route, it would be Men in Black in space, but it would have worked better for me. I felt like if you didn't have this romance plot and you have like, you know, these serious characters just going into this thing and being badasses, kind of like Bad Boys 1 and 2 in a sense. It's funny because those movies aren't great, but I felt like those characters would have been good in this movie because they wouldn't have to deal with the romance plot, and they could focus more on the science fiction aspect and do more cool science fiction stuff, and then get rid of this 40-minute section that did not need to exist. It's a section that includes Rihanna, by the way. She's just put in this movie for no reason, and they make you care about her, and it sucks. It's not good at all. Like, 40 minutes of this movie ruined the whole movie for you, and that's ultimately the main problem. In the beginning, it's great. I'll say, like, just go into the movie, watch the first maybe hour and 15 minutes, and then leave, because the rest of it is just garbage. And there's a whole other hour. I think the movie's like 2.5 hours long. It felt very, very long. I went in there at 9:05, came out at like 11:30. So 40 of those minutes didn't need to happen. That's the main problem. Otherwise, if you really, really, really like science fiction, I definitely recommend it because it is really good science fiction. We haven't had this good science fiction in a while in the beginning. The beginning is so good, so interesting. They explain technology and it feels like it makes sense. It's so fun and awesome. And then it gets into the love plot and then this 40-minute section that didn't need to happen. And then you get to this weak ass ending that... Oh man, it felt like Star Trek Into Darkness in a sense. It just didn't work, man. I was so torn because I was enjoying myself so much in the beginning. It sucked, man. You just kind of need to watch it if you really, really like science fiction. If you don't like science fiction, it's a pass, straight up. Don't go and watch it. You really, really, really need to like science fiction to like this movie. So yeah, that's it for this review. Unfortunately, Valerian gets a thumbs down, I guess. I wish it was better. I wish it was shorter and then we would enjoy it a little bit more. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you can go ahead and give me a thumbs down. If you really like the video, you can give me a subscription and you can catch more videos because I'm gonna keep doing this even though I felt a little iffy because I feel sick without supplying this stuff to y'all. I love doing this. I love talking about movies. I just gotta figure out something else. I gotta be more me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So enough about that. Go ahead, subscribe. Go ahead and like. Go ahead and comment. Tell me if you've seen Valerian. Tell me if you like science fiction. What's your favorite science fiction movie? I probably said this before, but yeah, go ahead and you can tell me that. And if you actually did like Valerian, just let me know because I want to know how you were able to endure that 40 minutes of nonsense. All right? So yeah, you know, regardless of what I say, I always recommend you go and watch those movies because you learn more, you get more, and you know what you like to watch and what you like to do. Yeah. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.